Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pretend Problems Podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Sam Darnold, new Vikings quarterback.
Whoa.
So excited. Football season is upon us.
I know. I can't wait.
So when this comes out, tomorrow will be the first game of the NFL season.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
I am too.
Real bummer about, is it JJ?
Yeah.
What his name is?
Yeah. JJ McCarthy. But that's neither here nor there. We're just happy we're less a human being.
If you are new to the show, Chad does not care for Kirk Cousins.
I don't care for his quarterback ability. I think he's a genuinely good human.
Yeah, sure.
And has somehow made more money than he's ever been worth in his life. What? Oh, did I do that thing where I keep talking? Where I almost do it right and then I keep talking and fuck it up? That's kind of my thing.
Before we get into today's episode, my tour starts this week. Chad's tour starts next week.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to plug our dates at the beginning just because it's the time. It's the season. We really would love for you guys to come out and see us on tour. So this weekend, I'm in the Baltimore area. I'm in technically Timonium at Magooby's. And then in 2 weeks, I will be in Fort Collins at the Comedy Fort. Mm-hmm. And then I go to Omaha, Phoenix, Providence, Dania Beach, Austin, and San Antonio. So if you live in any of those places, go to kelseycook.com, get some tickets. We also have like about a dozen cities booked already for the first half of next year. So if you didn't hear your city just now, know that there are more coming. But that's what's coming up for the rest of this year. How about you?
I'm going to be in Spokane and then Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And then in October, I'll be in Madison and Columbus, Ohio. And then in November, I will be in Denver and San Francisco and Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And then in December, I will be in Salt Lake City and Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
ChadDaniels.com/tour
if you want to skip a step.
Mm-hmm. And we've been moving and shaking this past week. We've got a bunch of things.
A lot of stuff
done.
going on.
Yeah. And one thing that's exciting is we finally bought our tickets to go to Europe. We're going to Europe just for fun at the end of October. And we're going to go for 2 weeks, which is a really fucking long time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to Dublin, London, and Paris.
Correct.
So we wanted to let you listeners know so that if you have been to any of those cities and you have food recommendations, if you have places to stay recommendations, things we should see, we would love to know. I have been to London and Paris before. I've not been to Dublin. Chad has been to none of those places.
0.
Just a small town Minnesota boy.
Just a small town boy. Yeah, it's true.
But you've been to...
How has that not been covered by a country musician?
I don't know.
Well, it probably has.
You've been to Italy, though.
I have been to Italy, and I've been to Asia. A bunch of places in Asia.
Yeah, but I've not been to Asia. But we decided to spend our last few nights rewatching The Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons.
Yep, and we still have Inferno.
Yeah, but we watched
Dan Brown novels that are, most likely made up, but a lot of historical stuff is true in it.
Yeah.
And it's fun because it's in those places.
Yeah, so we're going to try to go to some of those spots when we're there. But we also decided to watch... was it Beyond the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah, where, by the way, if you're an actor that's never gotten work, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because whoever was doing this stuff, I mean, their dress, if you couldn't get Roman guard number 4 for the crucifixion and Beyond the Da Vinci Code, then maybe it's time to look other places. Because it sucked.
Oh, God.
It sucked, but it's kind of fun to hear, like the theories of all this stuff. So if you don't know, spoiler alert, the movie is basically Jesus and Mary Magdalene were married and they had a baby, and that's why Mary Magdalene was, weeping at his feet on the cross because she was pregnant with his child, and then she had a baby named Sarah, and they moved to the south of France. And so basically it's all of these people guarding the bloodline of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I forgot about that movie because I read the book, and then I wasn't even thinking how crazy that must have made Christians.
Oh my God.
And I'm not mocking Christianity, just save it. I'm just saying, if you believe one thing for sure,
Yeah.
and then you see that shit, it's at least an eye roll.
Yeah, the books are so good and the movies are so good. I was
Yeah.
kind of shocked rewatching Angels and Demons last night. Like, fuck, they really did a great job with the sequel, which is not usually the case.
Yeah, Tom Hanks rules.
Yeah.
So does Ewan McGregor. And then whoever plays the guy that is in charge of the papal voting,
Oh, yeah.
the old guys that
The
talks
old-
like he's in anything he does, he's outrageously good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. If you haven't watched it in a while, it's a great just like sit down and make that your next few nights of watching that series.
And if you want to laugh at who guards the Pope, it is they wear poofy berets, almost like a chef's hat to the side. It's like, imagine a chef's hat, but you wear it like a beret.
Yeah.
And then they have MC Hammer pants. They look like jokers on a deck of cards, and it's fucking awesome. They look so
great.
ridiculous.
And just if you want to laugh, give Beyond the Da Vinci Code a watch. It's done through the History Channel. And some of the people they interview are authors of books you've never heard of. And it's clear that it is their first time ever being asked to do anything on camera. And it's fucking hilarious. There's a man in a pleather jacket with a mullet who wore his aviator sunglasses during the interview and just chain smoked cigs. And
lamb chops and a Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
It is so awesome.
He's so funny. I mean, it just is the perfect thing for SNL to do a spoof of. Like, you can't believe that he's a real person.
Well, we just said it out loud, so guess what? They will.
They will now.
And, I see a guy like that at a dive bar, and I immediately go over to him.
Yeah.
Because he did look kind of like a guy. I used to work at Stubb and Herb's on the campus of University of Minnesota. And there was a guy that would come in. He worked at the U, professor, and kind of looked like that. And he was so good at the, the on-screen trivia that is in all the bars.
Oh, yeah.
Where there was a contest one time and you had to get closest to the number.
Yeah.
And it was always something like, there's 15 questions. And so in order to get 1,000 points on a question, you had to get the correct response right away before they even started giving clues.
Oh, shit.
He would tell everybody in the bar what the first 14 were. Then he would tell you what the 15th one was. And you would try to just time it because it was like 14,833.
Yeah.
And if you got the exact number, then you got to go to a playoff in a different city. And he was always in those things. He always won. He was so fucking smart. Looked a ton like that dude. Always ripping heaters.
Yeah.
It was. It's always drinking Heinekens. He would make me fill up the sink with ice and water and put 10 Heinekens in it. And then I would always pull from that for his Heinekens. And people would go, "Can I get a Heineken from down there?" I was like, "No, you can't, because he'll fucking murder us all." With his, guess what he's going to cut us with? His dirty fingernails, because they're so long. It's like, you have a Coke nail on every finger, bro? What are you doing? They were so gross and so long.
Oh, my God.
But anyways, super nice dude, though. Just kind of a weirdo. But that, I think, really smart people. I've never met a really smart person that's also pretty fucking cool. Other than being smart.
Oh,
right?
my God.
Otherwise, it's like, that's kind of how their brain works.
Dirty Wolverine.
Yeah, they're like, I need 10 beers in there. And when those are gone, I'm done. That's my timer. That's my bar timer.
Yeah.
Man, that was a fun time.
Yeah, we were saying watching the Beyond the Da Vinci Code that if you could smell the documentary, that man would, I mean, you wouldn't make it past the 2-minute mark because he had to smell so bad.
His pleather jacket was zipped up, so he was encased in heat. There's not a lot of breathability in a pleather coat.
Yeah, that mustache has never been washed.
Yeah. There's no chance.
French dips. It's got fucking Cheeto dust. It's everything in there. But it's a fun watch. So we did that. And then Chad was in the annual golf tournament that's in this area.
Yep. Labor Day Classic, pot of gold.
And I came and watched you. I was a real cheerleader girlfriend all weekend. I walked 18 holes with you the first day, realized that is not for 2 days in a row for me.
Right.
'Cause
I like to walk when I golf. I don't
Yeah.
like to ride because I need about 200 steps between shots so I can calm down when I fuck them up. When I fuck up a golf shot, I need to walk and not be near anyone
yeah.
because I'm fuming.
So when we got back from the tournament, I had almost 12,000 steps on my Aura ring just from walking with you, which was crazy for me. I don't usually get to 10,000. You get to like 20,000, no problem. But so we did that. And then the second day I was like, all right, I'm coming back, but I'm getting a cart because I need a break from all that walking. And it was just such a weird, had like just like weird things happen. I got stung by a bee pretty early on, and I don't know if it was like
Back of the arm.
Back of the arm.
That's a tough spot.
I don't know if it was a wasp or a yellow jacket, but you know, they always tell you, oh, if you see a bee, just sit still and it'll go away. Well, fuck that, because I didn't even know it was on me. I was just sitting there, and the next thing you know, it was like I was stabbed. It was so painful. And I like to tell you that I think I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and I was shocked at
It sucks.
the sensation. I mean, I was like, if there had been a camera on me, I probably would have been pretty embarrassed at my reaction because I think my jaw was to the floor just like rocking.
Yeah. When the top of your head starts to tingle because of something like that, it's pretty wild. They made all these rules about bees, but about honeybees. Those were all the rules, right? Everything you see about bees is honeybees. These new bioengineered fucking transformer bees that you hear them go and all of a sudden they're a bee and sting, and they can. So I think what happened to you is you got bit.
I saw the puncture hole though.
Okay.
So
I feel like it's the same thing, but I will tell you, maybe not. But there are these new things that they actually bite.
Yeah.
And then they can bite you as many times, or they can sting you as many times as well. Some of these wasps, these new guys are. I remember back in the day, a bee would sting you, and you're like, "Fucking gotcha, bitch."
Yeah.
Because once the stinger's out, they die.
Yeah.
And you go, "Look it, was it worth it?" You could actually talk shit to them as they're dying on the ground. You'd be like, "Was that worth it, you motherfucker? Do I look like a flower? I'm a teenage boy. I don't smell like a flower. I smell like I'm in a fucking documentary." And so, you know, you used to be able to really give it to them on their deathbed.
Yeah. Well,
But not these.
No.
These, they sting you and you go to brush them off and then they're on your hand and they sting your hand.
Yes, I felt it.
Yeah, it's brutal. They're brutal.
I was able to get it off, but I bought this new lotion that has rose smell in it. And I'm like, I wonder if I just walked around a golf course smelling like
Unbelievable.
I know, sometimes I'm a bucket of dumb, but I wanted to smell good and I didn't think about it.
Yeah, okay. I spent the last 3 days feeling real bad for you.
Hey,
I fucked
come
up.
on.
I wasted a lot of empathy on that.
Give it.
Well, I mean, that is kind of crazy.
Well, I know, but what am I, the whole summer not supposed to wear good smelling things?
Well, I understand that, but it's like, you know, vabbing, like dipping it in, putting it behind your ear, and then all of a sudden you go into this dive bar with this guy, Dirty Wolverine.
Dirty Wolverine.
What do you think's going to happen?
Oh my God. D-Dub. Leather jacket with D-Dub on it. Yeah, but I also, like, I had put a bunch of sunscreen on over that. I don't know that they would still be able to smell the roses. This was just a thought.
Okay.
It could have happened without this lotion, but...
And what does the lotion smell like? Yeah.
The sunscreen's strong.
Not like you were wiping gasoline on your body to throw off the scent.
I know.
You were like, oh, the bee is like, someone must have thrown a lemon by this rose.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go get both of them.
Ugh, it hurts so badly.
Yeah, I do not envy you on that.
Yeah, so that wasn't great. But then about halfway through, I went back to the clubhouse to get some food for me and for Chad. And I pulled the cart up and I get our food. I'm so excited to get back out to see you, get you some food. And the cart is fucking gone. So somebody just took the cart And it had our stuff in it, and I was having a little bit of a spaz out, just being like, to myself, like, what am I gonna do now?
You were smart enough to grab the car keys, and anything that had value, and then you checked the other things, and you left them in there as kind of a marker, like, hey, this is being used.
Yeah, this isn't to be
right. So
taken.
If we would have lost that stuff, it's no big deal. Now I will tell you, I used to go to a comedy festival in Akumal, Mexico, and for several years in a row. And people would rent golf carts for the week because they wouldn't want to walk the half mile from the villas into town. And I would steal them, not for my own use to go to town. I would steal them and hide them. And I thought it was so funny. And I'd steal them, and then I'd put them in other people's villas. And so then there would be confrontation between that, like, who the fuck in this villa took my cart? And I'm sitting there like, this is awesome. So this could be karma. I thought there was a statute of limitations on karma, but maybe there is not.
Fucking Akumal, Mexico, coming back to haunt me in Fergus Falls.
Yeah, that's right.
Jesus. So, and the thing is, I know that when Chad is golfing, it's like, you're such a good golfer. You put in a lot of time into it. I don't want anything to go awry and add stress to you. And so I'm like annoyed that I have lost a golf cart.
It is kind of funny, like, fuck, I've lost an entire thing.
This golf cart
it was
is
taken.
gone.
You didn't really lose it.
Yeah, it was taken. The things that were in it are now taken. And now I have to figure out how I'm going to get to you. You're way the fuck far away.
Kind of on the other side of the course from the clubhouse.
And meanwhile, our food's getting cold. And that's when I knew that I was in PMS because it just went ting, and I could just feel that part of my brain be like, God damn it.
Yeah. Now, shout out to Mindy Feuder. I'll tell you that I know her husband from way back. Since I was a little tiny kid, we used to play catch.
Oh.
And we used to vacation with his parents. They owned the Taco John's in Fergus Falls growing up. But anyway, she's always been great and was very helpful to you trying to hunt down this thing. As a matter of fact, when I saw her, she was a little fired up.
Yeah.
Still on the mission a little bit.
Yeah, we were both pretty pissed. And so anyway, I was given a different golf cart, was able to get out there to you, tell you what was going on. And then we ended up finding it later, like whoever had taken it, put it back where it was. But it was a whole thing.
Yeah, and I got to be a 1940s husband for the first time because you're learning how to golf. And there's lots of stuff to learn just about how to golf. But then there's a whole other book on golf etiquette.
Yes.
Right? And one of the things I told you is just kind of stay behind play.
Yeah.
So don't walk up to the green until everyone else does. I basically said, wherever my push cart is, you can just kind of stay around that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll leave it as like the barrier.
Yeah.
But then I also let you know that for some reason, adult men everywhere, and I think this is across the board, if you're golfing and you say good shot, but it isn't, right? Because of different skill levels.
Yeah.
Like my partner is the best golfer at the course.
Yeah.
And if I say good shot to him, there's times where he's like, no, it isn't. It's like, well, I would suck a dick for that shot. Not yours. Let's not get crazy. We're partners here. But just so you know, I would love that.
Yeah.
Because I'm way over here getting in my 20,000 steps. And so sometimes you tell me good shot and I'm like, oh, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not even fucking close.
Yeah.
But you like it because if you would hit that shot, it's good. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's trickle down, whatever. And so I basically said, stay back here and shut the fuck up. But not like that, not with that attitude. But
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go.
Oh, I just say, I did not realize that that's kind of what that boils down to.
Yeah.
It's very funny. Stay back here and shut the hell up.
But I certainly didn't mean it like that. But I was just trying to tell you, like, there will be, telling someone good shot. Because even other guys will do that in the group. They'll go, oh man, great shot. And then the wind will catch it. Or you get a bad bounce and you end up in the sand or by a tree. And you're like, was it a good shot, motherfucker? Was that a good shot?
So. Yeah. So I did, but it was good to know because I do feel like I'm such a, oh, great job. Like, you know,
You
like
are
to,
very happy about most things.
yeah. And so that was good to know that there are things in golf that you should just wait until everybody else says good shot.
I thought that was
and
a
then
great strategy of yours.
Yeah, that was a good shot. But
Because I remember
to me, they are all good shots. So
yeah. We played good golfers, but it was interesting that because you even said to me, you go, you know what? I'm waiting until everyone else says it, and then I just add another one.
Yeah. And I just.
You are very cheerleader mode.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
very
just,
supportive. So thanks for coming. I appreciate that.
Yes.
And clearly you're bad luck, but I'm teasing.
You played great.
Had nothing to do with you.
It was so fun watching you. And then yesterday, this was just another weird thing that happened. We went out to dinner, and I used the bathroom on the way out. And when I walked in, 2 of the stalls were occupied. 1 was open. And I could see that the one I was walking into, the woman in the stall next to me had a cane. And then we're all in there peeing. And then you can hear a line forming. There wasn't a line when I got there. And the woman at the front of the line is a little loud and is saying something about like, oh yeah, well, we got a line, always a line with the women's bathroom. And I think she said something about like that men don't have a line, but they get pee on the seat or something. I couldn't make out everything she was saying, and I wasn't really paying attention. But then I come out, and the woman with the cane is washing her hands, and she says to that woman who was talking at the front of the line, sounds like a personal problem to me. And you can see the woman in the front of the line kind of like almost look over her shoulder, like she's confused who she's and she's like, oh, are you talking to me? And then the woman with the cane dries her hands, takes her cane, walks by her and looks at her and goes, fuck off. And the woman that she said it to goes, it was just like so horrified. Her mouth stayed like that for, I'm not kidding, probably 7 straight seconds as she just watched her walk away. And because you could tell the woman at the front of the line was just like a very sweet Midwestern Minnesota woman. And so the woman with the cane walks away, and the woman in the front of the line turns to all of us. She goes, she told me to F off. She like won't even repeat it. She's just like so we were all in shock. It was so strange. I'm not sure what, I can't imagine that the woman at the front of the line had said anything that would have remotely warranted a fuck off.
Yeah. And then I was outside.
Yeah.
And I saw the lady with the cane come out and just start yelling at a man that was out there. Go, maybe your wife shouldn't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And she started screaming, and I was like, I wonder what that's about. And then you were like, I have something to tell you about the bathroom. My only thought is, she had a cane and she's in the stall.
Yeah.
And maybe she is so used to people being like, come on, Betty.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you. And so maybe she just kind of has that feeling. And then when someone was like, no, there's a line forming.
Yeah.
Maybe she kind of got antsy about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way, Poe, our dog, just jumped up here. I think he rolled in a fish. I think
Maybe.
he rolled in a dead fish because I can smell dead fish.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God. That smells so bad. Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my God, I'm dying. I can smell it. Okay, we have to focus. But
okay.
God damn it, Poe. Okay. So anyway, I've had some weird things happen over the weekend. Let's get into the fact that you went and had your first somatic craniosacral like therapy session.
I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's like, they say the body keeps the score. And so trauma is stored in your body. Right. Now, before I met you, I would have never said that sentence. So I feel a little fucking gleep glop in the floop-de-doos. But I will tell you that, so this woman that I had, she just looks like she should be able to massage trouble out of you.
The demons.
She just has a look where you go, okay.
Yes.
If anyone's going to if anyone's going to touch me and stuff is going to go running out of my body, it's this lady.
Yeah.
And so, and I kind of thought like, this is a money-making thing. I'm sure I'm going to have to sign up for 3 more after this, blah, blah, blah. And afterwards she goes, I want you to take a week. I want you to really think, did anything different happen?
Yeah.
And if you want, we can do every other week. We can do every other month. We can do once every 6 months. It's really whatever it is. I don't need your money. I like doing this because it helps. And I was like, holy shit. All right. Well, there go. Fucking, you're knocking all my theories right off the wall here. So
maybe she could sense that.
So that kind of, oh, shush it.
She could probably sense it in your body.
So I will tell you, I'm not willing. Here's the thing. I'm not willing to tell you my full thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to all of a sudden take this thing and run with it. Because you can have a tendency to do that. When you, I could tell you 10 things wrong with it and 1 thing right with it, and you'd be like, well, that's what I told you. And so I am keeping this one a little close to the vest.
That's a very funny impression of me.
I will also tell you I am going to go do it again.
Great.
Because I even noticed something physical. And I'm telling you, they don't, it's not a massage. They don't push. They fucking like.
So it's not motorboating therapy, as Chad had said.
They just kind of like put their hands on different spots and, they'll move a finger here and there. Mm-hmm. And, but it's nothing, it's not a massage. They're not toothpaste tubing you to get this stuff out. Yeah.
They're trying to talk to your nervous system.
Well,
and you communicate with that differently than like if you're getting a knot out of a muscle.
Yeah. When this is done, I will tell you my full thoughts on it. And, but not yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I'm still checking it out.
That's fine. Can I just make an observation?
Sure.
As your partner? I don't think I have seen you in such a like a good, calm mood in in a really long time. Like, I feel like you have been...
Raise your hand if you're wondering why we're still together, if that's what's happening.
What do you mean?
You're like, I've never seen you nice. Just an observation as your partner. I've never not wanted to leave you.
There he is. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that. I will tell you the first night, everything bothered me. Mm-hmm. Every single thing. I had to go get a pizza, which, by the way, can't have cheese. So it's not a pizza. It's fucking bread with sausage and ketchup. And so I had to go get that. And these ding-dongs working at the place, it was like, took forever. They didn't, I went up there, I asked for the pizza. They were like, it's not done yet. And I was like, well, it fucking should be because I already went to Whole Foods. How long did it take to cook a fucking pizza? So then I go sit down. And then I kind of see some to-go boxes up there after 15 minutes of waiting. And I go up there and I'm like, this is mine. And they go, okay. And I go, were you ever going to tell me it was done? Just like staring at him. And then he's like, oh, well, I just, I thought you'd come up and check. What if you said something? What if you were to, I don't know, call a name like you've been calling names the whole time? Right? And then I'm waiting and I go, this is mine. And they look at the slip and I'm waiting. And I go, yo, dude, can I pay for this? And he goes, it's paid for. And I go, again. It's like, just because this is an Italian place doesn't mean it's the fucking Da Vinci Code. I shouldn't have to figure this out.
Because I had ordered it online and already paid for it.
Yeah, and he looked at the receipt and then he went to the computer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like waiting for him to, and he's punching stuff in. So I'm like, okay, how much do I owe you? Yeah. And then he stopped punching stuff in. I'm like, hey man, like really, I don't know. It was interesting, and then I could feel tension on the surface of my body where anything that happened,
Yeah.
I'm so thankful nobody parked in front of Whole Foods.
Oh,
It would have been pure chaos.
Tonight on Channel 4 News, a beheading in the Whole Foods parking lot. Man with ketchup pizza.
You know
screams.
those chips you can't eat because they're made of vegetables? Well, they are used as a machete.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I was something happened.
Something happened.
Just not sure what it was. But.
Well.
Nope.
That's.
No. Here we go.
Listen, that was such a good thing that happened because it got it out of you. It's getting the stuff that's stored and it's pushing it out of your body.
Who told you that? Your friend Crystal?
No, because I've done craniosacral for years. So I remember what my first few sessions were like. And it's like different than what you think. Sometimes it's like, because for me, I remember during my first session, I like didn't feel anything during the actual section. I was like, well, I feel relaxed, but like I didn't really feel anything move or happen. And then, yeah, it's like you can get irritable, you can all this stuff, but it's like you said, bringing it to the surface.
Yeah, I did feel one thing. She had her hands on the back of my Achilles tendon, and she was just kind of sitting there, and then all of a sudden, my chest got super tight. But I also was falling asleep during it, and sometimes when I'm falling into a very deep sleep, where it's almost like, oh, this is either sleep or death, then my body's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Was I dying? What happened? Did I forget to breathe?
I hate that when you're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it was that or something else, but I mean, I'm going to try it again.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see. And I'm probably going to eat at home that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably just going to make some food for myself.
Yeah.
After that session.
Yeah. Well, I have an interesting email to read about it for you.
Okay.
It's just nice. Just a listener said something. Okay. So we have a middle segment before we get into questions. And this is a would you rather that was submitted by a listener.
I'm just going to check the time.
Oh, okay. So we just did last week a questions episode that went on Patreon. So as you guys know, we have a Patreon now. It's patreon.com/pretendproblems. You can get 2 bonus episodes, like mini bonus episodes a month, plus 1 full-length bonus episode. And the full-length bonus is us reading even more listener questions. So if you've written in and you haven't heard your question yet, you might want to check out Patreon because we do some of them over there. But a listener wrote in, we answered her question, and then she also gave us a would you rather to answer.
Right. Yep.
I already think I know your answer, but it's just one of those ones. Would you rather eat shit flavored chocolate or chocolate flavored shit?
Whoa.
That's really a thinker for you? Oh my God, mine is eat shit flavored chocolate. Of course. I'm not eating shit.
I might eat shit.
Ew.
If it's chocolate flavored, who cares?
But then you've eaten shit and you're going to get sick.
Well, here's the thing. I've had to cut a lot of stuff out of my diet lately, and I think I'd cut both of those out. I think that's a weird would you rather because neither. But
that's what a would you rather is you have to pick one.
I don't. Yeah, okay.
So you'd do chocolate flavored shit?
I'd do chocolate flavored chocolate.
God. That's not how it works.
Well, you can't eat shit. Would kill you eventually.
Yeah.
Because it's waste.
So then say shit flavored chocolate.
Yeah. You know what? Are you talking about dark chocolate?
Because sometimes it does kind of taste like shit.
Always tastes like shit.
I like dark chocolate sometimes.
Do you want a healthy snack? Try dark chocolate. I hate it.
Okay. So here we go. If you haven't written into the podcast, it's pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to try to answer any questions about, like, if you need relationship advice, if you just have something you want to say about a topic we're covering. Oh, and please write in about Europe. That's where we want you to write in.
Let us know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to golf in Ireland.
I'd like to golf. Let's do it.
You can't. They don't let women golf in Ireland and Scotland.
Oh my God, whatever. Post smells so strongly of fish, I'm dying. I can't believe it. This is so gross. Lake life is extreme. Poe finds dead fish on the shore and he rolls in them because he thinks getting the fish's scent on his body makes him
less of a target for predators.
Oh my God. Gotta get this boy back into the city. Enough of this nonsense.
Well, I can just wash him in the lake. There's a giant lake.
Ugh. Okay. This is titled Creepy Old Dude Across the Street.
Oh, finally. Our neighbors are writing in.
Chad and Kelsey, I'm a huge fan of both of your comedy. Growing up in the Indianapolis area, I heard Chad for years on the Bob and Tom show.
Oh, yeah.
And have incorporated I don't think my wife knows what let's means into my marriage on a regular basis. I first heard of Kelsey when her This Is Not Happening episode popped into my YouTube algorithm years ago. Often I pop on my headphones and listen to comedy on YouTube while writing reports at work. Your episode literally made me spit coffee on my desk drawing many looks from coworkers.
That's awesome.
Wow, thank you. To preface my story, I want to give you a bit of a background on me. I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder when I was 25 years old in my teens, or 25 years ago in my teens. I have a tendency to lean toward a negative outcome when I look at the world. I am generally a happy...
Why? How come? In an election year?
I am generally a happy human, but I overanalyze each situation for what could go wrong. Also, my wife, who is a special ed teacher, thinks I may tend to lean toward the gold spectrum. I like how you've created a whole nother word for it now.
Well, that's what it is.
That's so funny.
Gold standard.
Gold standard. Now to my problem. 4 years ago, my family moved into our current home. The old guy across the street has always been polite and tries to be helpful, but he continually makes comments that cross the line. He once told my wife that if teachers looked like you when I was in school, I would have gone to class more often.
Oh, okay.
My wife is little but mighty, but this put her back on her heels and she quickly just left. Oh my God, I'm going to have to at some point also talk about my flight attendant. How the fuck have I not talked about that yet?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh God. Okay, next episode. I had a quick conversation with the neighbor telling him that it wasn't cool and that these days that kind of comment isn't seen as a compliment. Recently, he has said some very uncomfortable comments to my 10-year-old daughter. He asked her if she was still his gorgeous little girlfriend. Oh, I would fucking murder this guy. And told her that her shorts were showing off the muscles in her legs and he could tell that she had been working hard at softball. Fucking arrest this guy.
Let's look in his basement.
Yeah, what the
and his
fuck?
past.
My
Jesus Christ, man.
Oof. My daughter, being awesome, said she isn't allowed to have boyfriends, and that is why dad has lots of guns in the safe to keep the boys away. She is a boss.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I quickly moved my daughter inside and again told the neighbor that he crossed a line and I don't expect him to say anything like that to my daughter ever again. My daughter now doesn't want to walk home from the bus or play in the front yard because he might be looking at her. Oh my God. That creates a fury in me that...
Yeah, once it starts to have that effect, then it's
so fucking unfair.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's so unfair. Apparently last weekend when my daughter and all her neighborhood friends had a lemonade stand, he made a comment that he would buy lemonade, but he doesn't want to make my daughter mad. This guy is this is making me so angry. I hate it so much. This guy gives off a real vibe of a guy who collects naked lady calendars in his garage, and I am not sure that he is truly evil. However, my tendency to overreact and overprotect is going to make me snap on him soon. I asked Chad as a father and Kelsey as a female, do you have any suggestions on how to deal with this guy without punches or walking out the front door with a shotgun in my hand? Thanks so much, and I really appreciate the podcast. Mark, you can use my name. Oh, Mark, I'm so sorry this is happening. What do you think you would do?
I don't know. I think, letting him know that he crossed a line is, but when he's going over to the lemonade stand, then to point his daughter out.
It's so manipulative.
Friends, well, it's like, oh no, we're losing out on $1, but still her name's being called out in front of the friends. And
right.
So, oh boy.
It's like, just shut the fuck up then.
Yeah.
If you know that it's going to make her uncomfortable, then don't say anything and don't go over there. That's so manipulative. Be like, well, I'd buy, but I don't want to make you mad. It's like, oh, fuck out of here.
So no punches and no shotgun is what he's requested.
Yeah.
Flamethrower. Flamethrower. It's going to take a long time to rebuild that house. So even if he wants to move back in, obviously don't burn his house down. I don't know, because it's so fucked up that he's talking like that to a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where it's like,
there's gonna be men. There will always be men that say that kind of stuff to women. If teachers looked like you, there's always going to be that guy.
right.
And I don't know what to even do about that. But when they're talking like that to a 10-year-old about their legs, like obviously looking at the legs,
Right.
I mean, that's choke-worthy. I think if you go to court, you win.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to do anything to this guy, but I'm just saying, like, I really don't know how to stop that behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing is, right, it's like pedophiles.
Yeah.
It's if you're a grown-up and you touch a child, you don't get that out of the brain.
Yeah.
That's in the brain. That's something that has been studied forever, and it cannot be fixed through therapy or medication. So that is
Yeah.
a bullet.
Yeah.
That's the only way to scrub it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this guy's a creep. You're saying he doesn't seem like he's truly evil. This is tough, man. I do not envy this situation.
Yeah, I don't know what constitutes getting like police I mean, he's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously so not okay. But it's hard because it's like you don't want to have to move because of this guy, and this guy doesn't sound like he's moving. So then it's like, your daughter's going to just keep living in fear and being uncomfortable. It's like, God, it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
This is a real problem. This is not a pretend problem.
He should not get to run the neighborhood because he's a fucking creep.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you do need to. If you moved in after him, I don't know the rules. Maybe, if he had to go knocking on doors when he moved in, that was probably before that even happened if he's older.
Yeah.
But maybe just ask. Maybe ask other neighbors and just be like, hey, did any neighbors that were there before him go like, when he moved in, did he have to come over here and tell you that he wasn't allowed near schools?
Yeah. Or maybe just, I think it would probably help you to have conversations with other neighbors to know if there is any past issues with the guy, but just to make them aware of like, hey, we're dealing with this.
I would talk to
don't
the
really
other
know
dads.
what to do. Yeah.
I would have a dad poker night maybe for the neighborhood and just be like, has your daughter come home and said anything about this dude?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's fucking talking about your daughter's legs, man. I don't know how you didn't punch him.
Yeah. His gorgeous little girlfriend, a 10-year-old.
So that one doesn't bother me as much because sometimes older guys will talk like that, like will just say that kind of stuff because they don't know any better. But if you don't fucking know any better, talking about the definition of a 10-year-old girl's legs.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I think that's where I would start. I would incorporate the other dads and I would start kind of just make sure everybody's on the same page. I guess that's where I would go.
Yeah. Yeah. So sorry. Keep us posted.
No kidding.
If you want. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. This next one is titled Resets. It says, Kelsey, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe what you're reacting to is not the incidences themselves, rather the potential within the situation. So this is talking about when we had like our Whole Foods parking lot conversation recently, the buildup. My lovely and very patient wife, Erin, does the same thing. I make some sort of comment and she instantly sees the whole thing play out worst case scenario in her mind based on her childhood experiences with siblings and a dad and on adult experiences with me before I got my head at least partially out of my ass. Understanding that has helped me tremendously. When I see her go into that mode, I can make myself dial it back without taking it as judgment. Yeah, thank you. That's nice. It's nice. We love when you guys write in and say that you also experience similar situations.
Yeah.
And like how you guys have dealt with it. So.
And I think this is worded very well, letting the Aaron and Kelsey know it's their fault.
Oh my God.
Well done. I know that's not what that said.
Maybe when you go wash the fish off bowl, you can put some heavy rocks in your pockets like you like to say.
Oh, yes. Maybe I could.
Okay. This next one is the one about the somatic therapy. So
Okay.
it's titled Body Keeps the Score and Ice Cream. They say, love listening to the pod on bike rides, but snort laughs can be dangerous on the trails. Just finished listening to the motorboating episode, a phrase I never thought I'd write down, and really resonated with Chad's skepticism with somatic therapy. However, I really appreciated his apparent willingness to try it with a mostly open mind. Somatic and EDMR have been recommended to me a few times, but I am just not sure I'm there yet. Feels a little too woo-woo to me, but Chad's willingness made me reconsider again. It's just refreshing / comforting / reassuring to hear my own thoughts in someone else's voice. Damn it, now I have to reconsider again. Also, you asked for 2025 tour location requests, and I could not recommend Bozeman, Montana enough. We have a few classic theaters and as well as state-of-the-art concert facilities and a proper comedy club, so can certainly accommodate the throngs of people who would flock to see you. We've hosted big comic and musical names, so the audience is there. Plus, honestly, we get skipped over often, so are always appreciative of those who come here. Also, we have an amazing local ice cream place at which Chad could destroy his bowels. Could you ask for more? Cheers, guys. I won't say your name just in case you don't want me to, but yeah, who knows? I kind of forget that Montana is a place you can perform comedy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I went there not too long ago and had a ton of fun.
Oh, nice. I just thought you would really enjoy hearing that there are other dudes out there that are like, I don't know about this. And then
I
they
would
hear
sure
you.
most dudes are like, I don't know about this.
Well, but people who like this has been recommended to,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been like, I don't know. And then to hear you be like, yeah, I also don't know, but I'm going to give it a try. And then it helps other people want to give it a try. I just love it.
I will tell you, I haven't done the
EDMR.
EDMR. Clearly, I have not done it because I don't know how it goes.
I actually know it. It's EMDR. This is
eye movement, right?
Yeah, this is title or this is typed wrong in the
so
email. But
EMDR. I haven't done that because that feels a little hypnotic, where they're making your eyes go back and forth. I don't know. Maybe that's just skepticism. But I was a little, skeptical about the somatic therapy. But I will tell you, when I do give my full review, I think you'd be willing to try it when I'm finally like. I don't want to talk about it until I'm sure about it. But right now, I'm obviously going to do it again. So I'm trending towards the positive.
Yeah. It's such a nice experience. Like it's like making a spa appointment for yourself. It's just
but it's
relaxing.
It's also weird because it's like you're sleeping on your back, and then once in a while someone comes over and puts their hand on your shoulder or under your back or behind your ankle or whatever. And you go, I don't know what the fuck this is doing.
Yeah.
And then you go get a pizza and you're like, tell me how much the fucking pizza is. And you go, oh, sorry about that. Someone touched my ankle earlier. Probably doesn't make sense to you, but.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I think it's so fascinating. Okay. What was the other one? Oh, this I thought was interesting. So somebody commented on our recent Patreon episode because you'd talked about getting the ADHD testing done. Mm-hmm. And this was a comment that I thought you would find fascinating.
And before, I think we had promised results this episode.
Oh.
I had to move it because normally that golf tournament is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and they moved it to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'd made the appointment for Friday, which probably means I have ADHD. But so I switched it to if this comes out Wednesday, I switched it to Thursday.
Yeah. So you'll hear more next episode.
On the next episode.
So they say, it sounds like Chad took the WAIS IV IQ test. WAIS IV IQ test. I've never heard of that. They usually pair it with a personality test like the MMPI. Also, the neuropsychologist definitely acted weird as a part of the test. They can tell a lot about someone just by observing. You'll probably get a brief of the results, and don't be surprised if you get pissed. They only focus on the negative and presence of the disorder.
Cool. Something to look forward to. Maybe I should do somatic therapy the morning before I get my results back.
But, this is one person, and I will say, I think whatever the results, this is why you did it, is to know.
I know.
Even if it's
I'm not worried about the results.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know all the stuff.
But anyway.
That's really interesting, though.
Yeah.
They were fucking with me on purpose.
Right? Because that's what we were saying. We were like, I don't know.
I did wonder, because there was even one point, I don't think I said this, but she was on her phone when she was supposed to be timing me, and I go, I'm done. And then she didn't do anything, and I go, hey, I'm done. And she was on her, she goes, oh, sorry, my daughter had to drop her car off to get oil changed, and now she needs a ride. And I was like, okay, I'm doing a time test.
Did you say that?
No, but that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was taking a test, and I didn't know. Again, it was crazy. But
did you feel like you held back in certain ways in case it was that she was monitoring that stuff?
Not necessarily, because I was just trying. I mean, I am a fairly polite human being.
Yeah.
Unless, someone's just being a complete and utter dipshit.
Right.
But if she did have a cold and was looking for Kleenex, or her daughter did need a ride, I mean, that happens.
Right.
And so I wasn't going to be like, I'm taking a test. I was just, I was being empathetic and being like, oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I have kids. I understand. And so
I
didn't hold back anything.
Yeah.
Because in those situations, I feel like I am pretty empathetic. But.
Yeah, totally. I was trying to see how much time is left. Okay, let's do maybe one more. Okay, so this was another ADHD thing. This is titled Chad Testing Follow-Up Note. Hello, Chad and Kelsey. I'm a new listener, but I've liked Kelsey for a while. New to Chad's comedy and enjoying it.
Thank you.
But I have rewatched The Hustler many times before I knew about him. My sister, a therapist, suggested I listen to the podcast, and as with most things, she knows what she is talking about. Just wanted to respond to one of the notes Chad had on the ADHD test. The temperature thing, where they asked something like, if you're hot, do you put on a sweater? My son, who's diagnosed, does that. If he is hot, he is inclined to put on more clothes / get under a blanket. And if he is cold, he doesn't want to get under a blanket. It sounds like a temperature thing, as Chad noted, but it may be tied to being neurodivergent. And then he'd linked sciencey research here. Short answer, it is dopamine related and connected to other things around ADHD. Anyway, thanks for being you two. Have a great day. And then I won't say your name just in case, but interesting.
Well, I think when I was
about that.
talking about temperature, I was saying the other version of it.
Right. Like, hey, do you like milk with your cookies? You might have ADHD.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
But that is really interesting, though, because there are times, where I sleep above the covers and I have a sweatshirt on, and you're like, you're going to get under the covers? Why do you have a sweatshirt on? I'm like, why? Because right now this is very comfortable for me.
Yeah, you are kind of interesting with that. Huh. I didn't even know that's a thing.
Got me.
Yeah. I just opened up the link, but it is pretty sciencey and dense for the show. So, yeah, I think that's it for today. This was really fun.
Oh, I just got kicked in the ribs and the fat roll, son.
This was really great, minus the smell of dead fish radiating off our dog. God. Highly sensitive person, highly sensitive person, highly sensitive person. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay, guys, thank you for listening.
This is his version of wiping rose lotion on him before a golf tournament. Thanks for watching. pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com to write in. And we have a Patreon if you want to join that. Come see us live on tour.
Yes,
and
please.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.